So this is Jonathan Blow on the self-harm scenes in Superhot VR, and then it is a segment on the Blow fan. Jonathan, I should not be laughing at something really stupid like this, but it's like I don't know. When it comes to like when you're given like last names or first names or something like that, is like a lot of the times like there it can be pretty memey, you know, like Dick Tracy, like the name Dick, right? Or
Yeah.
like Karen, and then the Karen memes, right? Because a lot of times I just feel bad, but yeah. Anyway, so Super Hot VR, it's a pretty interesting game. I played. I think I pl did I play that at my friend's house or did I play like a torrent or something stupid like that? But like super, I never played the VR version, but I played the regular the game because Super Hot relies on like I don't know slow motion. Because usually
Yeah.
like when you stop, it's the bullet the stuff moves in slow motion, but when you move, it goes in like it speeds up, right? At normal speed. So you'd have to like it's pretty it's pretty silly shit, you know. And then when you kill the enemy with the in super hot is like especially in slow motion the guy like I don't know the enemy has having an anger the a seizure or some shit. But let's see.
You thought Superhot VR was fun? I refuse to play it. It might be fun, but I refuse to play it. Why no Superhot? Because it requires you to shoot yourself in the head to start the game, and that's repulsive, and the game also didn't earn it.
It requires yourself to shoot yourself in the head in order to start the game. That's pretty great. That's pretty weird, but wow.
Maybe they patched that out, but that's how it was when I tried to play it on Vive. They removed that. Oh, they did. Maybe I would play it then. What was the lore behind having to shoot yourself in the head? There was none. There was none whatsoever. It's just to start the game, you shoot yourself in the head. They thought that was cool. They got review bombed after removing it. Well, still good for them for doing that.
What? It got review bombed just for that? Just for patching that out? That's I don't think anybody is stupid enough to actually shoot yourself. uh,
Hmm. Seems a bit thin skinned to be bothered by that. If you think that, you don't understand human psychology. I am a professional game designer. I have done game design my entire professional life. What I do is I create subjective experiences for people. I think about this all the time. I dream about it at night for fucking decades. And I'm telling you, it's a bad thing to do. Why is it so bad? I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to bother. It's not my job to explain these things. Doesn't that take us back to video games, violent video games?
but 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 he said some but you said something about like the it is something to do with the human psychology and then the and something because like the self-harm and it can affect you mentally or something what he said, right?
Hmm. I mean, to be honest, like just exposure to stuff makes you more aware of it. Um, like when somebody says, "Oh, weed's a gateway drug," I'm of the opinion that yeah, because you're not gonna go. Nobody's gonna go straight into heroin, right? But if you're like smoking weed with your bros and somebody tries out heroin, you're more likely to do it because you're in a social circle that does it, right?
Right. I
Or
never smoked weed before. I tried edibles, which is kind of like
yeah,
an alternative. But
um, and if like I think an excellent example would be like um weird pornography kinks. if you don't know about weird pornography kinks, nobody's gonna think about trying it, are they?
Oh, yeah, that's.
Or maybe some people will, but it's certainly not going to be anywhere near as common.
I mean, I know a few handful that is into NTR, but it's like, it's
Yeah,
more of like an option. And the thing is like, well, I think no, actually there are a few in the Slayers core that does not like NTR, but there are a lot that is into it. But and it's like, and don't agree. I mean, I did watch a Tomidori, and then I know,
yeah,
and which is like, and I can say a Tomidori as it's well animated. I ain't gonna lie, but you know, but when I say there's a few handful that I don't I don't have anything against people to like when they express their kinks, but it's like, but there's a thing when like I think someone in Slayer's core was like expressing the kink enough in a malicious behavioral way. It's
yeah,
like to where like if I disagree and then all of a sudden like I'm not worthy enough or something like that. But it's just like,
yeah.
but people have different preferences. I try to like accept people's preferences and all that, but we live in a weird world.
Games. No, because look, here's the difference. No, I'm not even going to. It's just going to turn into an argument. There's a difference, okay? There's a difference. I'm just not going to argue about this tonight. I'm not in the mood. The VR nausea has made me more cranky, and if I'm going to have an argument about this, I just want it to be when I'm not 100% grumpy. I'll just the more embodied something is. Here's the thing. A lot of people in the West think about everything as abstract, and your brain has ideas, and the ideas are not reality, and it's all in your brain, right? It's a lot of those things are not as true as people think. So the more embodied something is, the more real it is. Okay? So when you bring motion into something, it affects you differently than if you don't, right? So if you're playing a first person shooter, you're just moving your hand a little bit. You're just moving your WASD other hand a little bit, right? When you're actually mimicking motions with your body, it is much more real to dark recesses of your mind that you normally don't even think about. Like the vast majority of your mental activity is like the depths of the ocean where you have no access to it. And these things are actually really important in how your life turns out. Life itself is a meat grinder, and there's something to be said for confronting that and integrating it into our psyche. I don't disagree with you there.
Okay, so pause a
Like I
second.
am deaf.
Hmm.
So another thought on it is like, it's okay. I'll use GTA as an example. In GTA, go around and you like go and like jack cars and you murder people and commit crime, this, that, the other, right? Now, most normal people, they're gonna play that and then they're like able to completely separate that it's like all just fictional, right? However, what if you get
Right.
somebody who's not of the right state of mind? Then they're more likely to commit something that's in GTA. Another example would be like if you've got a song about suicide and you've got somebody that's suicidal and they listen to that song, they're more likely to think about it. Or somebody who's depressed and they listen to a suicidal song, they're more likely to be suicidal than if they listen to a song that's the exact opposite. Because it's just in their mind. Exposure to something makes you more likely to, like, how do I phrase this? Exposure to something makes you more likely to do it, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing about when it comes to
Like,
like.
I guess, like, if you look at countries where alcohol is like explicit. Oh, what the fuck? if you look at countries where like alcohol is explicitly banned, and then you've got somebody who's like raised to never drink alcohol, and then they move to a country where alcohol is not explicitly banned, they're less likely to do it than somebody who's like raised on alcohol and probably had like a drink when they were 6 or something, right?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like nowadays, is like usually public exposure. Like I do understand it because it can be like really dangerous. Like let's say like what you said, like one person would like who can be like pretty not right in the mind.
Yeah,
The thing is like anyone can go out of their way to buy like any sort of video game that has like explicit content to it, and then that goes with like music, that goes for movies and animation. As I don't think okay, animation wouldn't count. Yes, it's also considered fiction, but uh, but that's the thing though. Not everyone can can scan the people's minds and determine like whether they're not right in the state of mind to like
hmm.
purchase something that can harm you or something like that.
Yeah,
Because I'm not an expertise when it comes to like psychology. All I know is that like if you're not in the right mind, it's like it because you're just having the exposure to like something dangerous can actually like leads to consequences.
yeah.
So
Okay, so we were talking about Chef from South Park a while ago.
yes, I know about the chef from South
Yeah,
Park.
I think it's the exact same thing with him because he was not of his right state of mind, so he got pushed into something.
Yeah, yeah, he's a pretty crazy character. That's all I can say. Although it's been so long since I watched South Park. I think I've only watched like the stuff from like a decade or two ago. But yeah.
Definitely not. I am not a person who says protect everybody from all adversity because that makes weak people. I don't want to make weak people. Okay. But great care should be taken in the way these things are done. And telling everybody to shoot themselves in the head to do anything uncontextualized is not taking great care with these issues, right? That's all. I'm absolutely not saying don't put people through negative experiences. Negative experiences are valuable, but wisdom is required and important, especially when things are at scale of having many players. Yeah, it's absolutely not a knee jerk reaction. I'm not one of these video game violence is bad people. I'm not one of these violence is bad people. Like, in fact, we should, like, one thing again that people in Western societies don't understand is that violence is a normal part of nature. Look at fucking animals in nature, okay? So,
Oh God, this is actually going to be a really bad statement, but okay, about Persona. Okay, so there's a JRPG called Persona 3, right? So in the gameplay in Persona 3, so in order to summon your persona, which is like the Pokemon of the
Yeah,
fucking JRPG, in Persona 3, the character has to fucking shoot themselves in the head, and then all of a sudden the persona gets summoned.
yeah,
I was I was gonna make a bad statement about it because it's like, what happens if they just try to like censor that? Because and that's kind of part of my theory. Okay, there, that's all I'm gonna say. Because Persona 3 had the similar concept to it, but it's a different game. I, I, I don't know I don't know why I'm adding this because this is just this is Jonathan Blow complaining about the self-harm scene, and he's also the developer for known for Braid and The Witness, which are two puzzle games. So
oh, he's a game
uh,
dev.
yeah, he's a game dev.
Okay.
Although his rants can be pretty interesting at times. I don't re- There are some things I don't agree with him as well. So
that's something we've become very detached from as a society as well. So I'm not one of these like, oh, keep us away from violence people. Not at all. However, self-destructive, it is not good for an organism to engage in self-destructive patterns, whether that's an individual person or an entire society. That's all I'm saying.
Well, human emotions can be a powerful thing, and anyone can go through a negative experience. We all go through negative experiences. We all I think we all done stupid shit when back at the time. So, but although unless you're like completely Karen or NPC, then that's a different story. That that's there. I know there are people that are like straight out, way out of their minds. So anyway.